Oh shit, thanks for that, Loki. I know also why the mic is muted. Sorry about that. Well, not like I was saying much anyway, just talking about this situation here. Because I basically went back in through my mods and had to remove a mod related to harvesting parts. So before, when we added builds, we could see like removal of parts for stuff like could remove the brain or the skull or really wacky things. And it just created a bunch of unnecessary clutter, so I moved all the natural body parts out to sort of locate all the ones from the mod. And then, yeah, I just haven't put them in again. And then while I was doing that, it generated a large infestation down here. But that's nice, which is what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, I wanted to just place them down here to shoot through the window. Now I might have gone and done it. Because obviously all of this is made out of freaking wallpaper, so... But I really wanted to see what would happen if we got a dragon to fire inside, and obviously nothing good came of it, so... Just a whole bunch of enemies that are caught on fire. And then I also briefly mentioned why maybe I'm experiencing these stuttery lags on occasion. And I think that it could be very likely because of how pathfinding is working out, because people can carry way more now than they normally can, and the opportunistic hauling thing sort of makes it so that they will go all these wacky long ass paths all of a sudden, which is much heavier on pathfinding. The fuck happened? A large infestation happened. So yeah, let's have like a handful of people deal with all of these once we've beat out all the fire. So yeah, this entire room got trashed pretty much. So they basically exploded out from this room and quickly like spread outwards through the walls and shit. If it weren't for these two tile thick walls, they would probably have like completely gone out here as well. But they mostly got pushed into the bathroom. Hey Toto, welcome to the stream to you as well. But yeah, so that was a thing. And now these people are just like walking around doing drafted hunts so that we can butcher all these. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was. And I will preface this stream by saying that you should probably expect it to be potentially a short stream, because we have tomorrow as well. And I don't want to overdo it more than absolutely necessary, but I had a window today in which I could stream some Rimworld, so I felt that I might as well. Okay, and then we need a window. A door. Oh, that's still here, okay. Hard to see with all this stuff here. All this lovely chitin we'll be getting out of all these enemies. So yeah. And then I went ahead and re-added runtime GC because of the world pawn stuff. Because I kind of want to be able to clean up those thousands of pawns. Because it's basically a lot of pawn relations that the game shouldn't have to worry about anymore. Because it's like if two people that know each other and they don't know no one else knows them, they both die, and then who cares? And that's, you know, just the social system at work there. Okay. This one trying to get up again. I mean, I didn't know I was gonna stream today either, Andre. It's just a bonus stream. But yeah, I basically had the meeting with my job center not too long ago and got done with that, and I was like, what do I want to do today? And I was like, okay, a little bit of stream maintenance, and then, well, I already had the game open, so I was like, it's all working now, hopefully. So I was thinking, why not stream a little bit and make sure that it is actually working. Something that I have been debating with myself since yesterday a little bit is that I'm highly contemplating doing a bit of extra configuration at this point. And actually, let's go ahead and do it so that you know what I'm talking about a bit better. So vanilla events expanded is what I'm going to be looking for here. There, vanilla events expanded. Because I'm tired of global warming and ice age. I really don't like those events at the moment. Here are all the other event chances. But yeah, I really don't. Oh, we can stop all world conditions. Hold on, because that's another thing I wanted to do. I want to kind of fast track getting out of this ice age because it's not fun anymore. Like, it was a challenge early on, but I mean, we have hydroponics and everything, so an ice age just means that we get to do less, and I think everyone will probably, or the majority of people will probably agree that it's fine if we just stop the ice age. And then I will probably... Nope, okay, it immediately fixed itself. Cool. So now the world is back to normal, as normal as it'll be being Rimworld. But yeah, I'm hoping that will make more events possible and more quests possible. Now we can raid people. It's still winter though. It is still winter. But it's more in terms of the event's potential impact on quest generation and that kind of stuff. Because sometimes it can be a bit hard to figure out why certain things are not spawning, and our quests have been rather limited. Darn. Besides, I probably won't bother raiding people like actual faction bases until we're way into spacer tech, so don't get your hopes up. Because there's like literally no reason to do it. You don't really gain anything out of it other than the fact that you can say you did it. Yeah, we can raid tribals, but why would we? We can always go ahead and just knock those out whenever we get ships, you know, it's just going to be time consuming at the moment. What needs stuff though? That's the thing. Faction bases don't usually contain anything like super interesting. Not when you consider what you can buy through Twitch Toolkit anyway. And it's like the trade-off between not being able to do stuff for like half an hour's worth of stream because everyone will be moving on the world map, versus just hanging out in our own area and actually getting stuff done. And then to arrive at the faction, take them out in like 2 seconds because they're tribals, and then return with like nothing to show for it. That's at least my my expectation, so... I think it's worth more dealing with raids onto our home tile. Those I find more interesting. And of course there's also the fear of infestations and all this other stuff that can happen here. Yes, Sephiroth, that's probably another way. But my guess is that they would come and fuck with us before that. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they're considered spacer tech, so if not ultra tech even, because that's technically like what they kind of are. They're beyond spacer tech. But yeah, I wanted to get rid of the Ice Age because it was like pointless. Might as well just commit suicide. Suddenly we're not feeling so cocky anymore, huh? And then, if I remember correctly, in here somewhere. Probably not then. Oh, it's maybe this one here. Fixed faction relations. Because I did notice in the log there would be like, oh, faction has non-relation with other faction or returning default faction relations. And I feel like you get those very oftenly. Literally fan snapped me out of existence. Probably. I mean, if they're anything like the Void Dragons are, then yes, I would assume so too. And right now we're building these turrets around our base to sort of help with defending our base in case drop pod raids happen. Should probably have one here too. It's not a end-all do-all solution, it's just like a deterrent, I guess. And we will have to acquire some more adamantite. Yeah, I feel ya. Because those are pretty vulnerable. So if it weren't for the fact that system expansion 2 or whatever, medical system expansion 2 was like so finicky, I would definitely be using it to get around that. Walking drug laboratory. Are you? So much shooting skill, holy shit. Shooting accuracy 99.8%. I'm a mojo. Okay, yeah, you got me. You're right. Technically, you're correct. I mean, mine is 99.9 with aiming time 85%. But your aiming time is heavily reduced because of traits, I suppose. And your weapon too, probably. Yeah, that reminds me, I'm using the carbine. I wanted to use the hybrid rifle, I think it was. Got one of those. Oh yeah, the modular hybrid rifle here. I mean, the aiming time would be pretty low, but the reload speed would be high. Or, well, slow, so the number would be high, right? Because your range cooldown is 2.5. But your warm-up is 3.7. But that's melee attacks, okay. Maybe we should probably look at it in here instead. Also, we have a charged minigun that apparently does 35 DPS if it hits all its shots. Obviously, if you're just for accuracy, it's a little bit of a different story. Very interesting that the precision LMG has a better DPS per accurate based on like in relation to accuracy than a charged minigun does. But I guess with a charged minigun, the idea is that some of those bullets will miss and hit something else instead. So, crossbows. So yeah, cooldown and warm up. Okay, so those are the same numbers. Just checking. So yeah, heavy crossbows pretty slow. Can we make some interesting weapons though? Because these weapons are like Kit's industrial weapons, so they're like, I don't know, pre-modernized weapons, I guess you would say. God damn it. Nope, because we don't have a lot of weaponry research, believe it or not. That is still something we need. Like, we haven't even researched gas operation. Oh, it's because we need polymer materials. That's probably why. Okay. Interesting. So where's polymer materials at? Because that's the materials expanded stuff. It's not in here. Does it have like its own thing that I just can't remember? These are prosthetics, doors. Oh, plastics. So we need this research here in order to unlock a bunch of stuff. Anti-grain polymers. What? So we can make our own anti-grain warheads eventually. Oh. Yeah. Probably get this research whenever we get the next chance. Yeah, we're doing SRTS right now. Still going pretty fast. But yeah. It's tiny. You were supposed to have like rabbit ears and a rabbit tail, but I guess we can't see that because it's all covered up by your hair and everything. So let's check those meteors. Okay, inside the walls there. Okay, they're all hit fairly close to each other. Well, at least our castle walls can withstand a meteor hit, I suppose, but it takes forever to repair. Okay, Cyber, you can probably go and equip a grinder, since you're doing repair jobs anyway. Maybe we should probably make twice as many grinders actually as we've currently queued up. No, not 100, just 10 more, thank you. Since those are used for repairs, I assume too, right? Who has a grinder? Andre, you have a grinder? Yes. Just so that I can find an easy example. So construction speed, I assume that also covers repairs, but I don't know. If it doesn't, then, well, shit. Don't know what to do with your money? Well, that's not my problem. You have plenty of things you can use it for. You can also just save it up. Okay, so we got these pumps over here now. And like a large water tower, which I kind of want a second one of, just in case one of them gets infected through like an event or something, because that can happen. And we would have to flush it all out. And then, see, the thing is, we have one sewage outlet down there still, and we don't have anywhere else that we can have a sewage outlet at currently. Unless I literally dig like a small... I guess we could dig like a small lake or something here in this corner, just to make it a little bit interesting. Okay, so it does seem that construction actually does cover repairs, but yeah, these repairs will take forever. Poopy lake. So yeah, we should really just get everyone who's currently wielding a hammer to wear a grinder instead. And that's also why we have so many people set for repairs, because, you know, it adds up a lot of time to spend repairing. It's a little bit annoying that repairs aren't done like percent-wise. That actually makes me wonder. So if we go down here, is there a repair thing specifically? Repair success chance? Oh, that's for component repairs. Not exactly what I was curious about. Then I guess it's just construction speed. Yeah, constructs and repairs buildings. So the higher your construction speed is, the faster you repair things. Coolly cool. I also want to have a place for the anima tree, but you know, we're running out of space. And even though I have a mod that reduces the radius of the thing, you know, this is kind of the amount of space that we still need to set aside, so. Dark Wolf in here getting some coins. So it's a 19 by 19 area plus 2, so that's 22 by 22. We did it here. That would actually fit awfully well. So we would have a 22 by 22 area here. Wait, 22? 21. That's what I was supposed to... I don't know where that 22 came from. Because I was thinking... Wait, 22 is an equal number. But... it would have to be an uneven... Or like it's a... yeah. An even number. Would have to be an uneven number to make sense. Abyss Tech Persona Advisor module. Just like in here. It's used for research. But it requires us to research something else beforehand. Which I don't know, did we actually do that? No, we need to research ship computer core, then we can get an Abyss Tech Persona Advisor module. So yeah, this is like something you basically need to build inside your research area in order to do the remaining final research. Simo, you're okay? Okay. I think you might have been knocked out again. No, wait, your consciousness is fine. Why are you in bed then? You have no operations. Is it literally just because of this Galatros horn scratch on your arm that's never gonna heal because of reasons? It's just taking forever to heal those body parts. That's just an SRTS skip. It's the two-seaters that I covered yesterday. Still repairing those walls. Whoa, what the heck? Oh. Oh, bugger. Yeah, that was from that insectoid fight, I guess. Some people got injured pretty badly. And Alex is a goblin using melee, so not too surprising, I suppose. Okay, Andre, you're finally out and about again. Can't have my fast boys sitting in the hospital all day. Oh, you bought a heal me, okay. Yeah, that's something you can use your coins on, for sure. Also, oh yeah, this is another thing that I was thinking about when I went to bed yesterday, is that we get a lot of clothing articles whenever we get raided, and it might be unnecessary. So at some point I might just do like burn apparel here, and then just say like, oh, anything below a certain quality goes in here. Okay, Mechanite under armor. It's Mechanite under armor. So it's like almost like a chainmail, I guess, but more futuristic. Um, 19, 90, 30, 40. $90, 30, 40, so it gives less blunt resistance, basically the same sharp resistance, and then 10 less heat resistance. So in terms of just straight up numbers, the chainmail is technically better. Almost the same. Not really. I mean, this is 30 here, so it's far from the same. It's like a 40 difference. So it's like, this gives you 10 more heat resistance, but you lose 40 blunt resistance, and then you gain a bit of insulation. And then it's like whatever parts it covers. I would say that one is pretty significant, because a lot of attacks are going to be blunt when in melee. Yeah, I assume you would. But that doesn't mean someone can't benefit from this. But it's unknown technology though, so... Which is kind of interesting. Because how could you buy it if it's unknown technology? Or maybe it's just saying that so that you know which unknown technology it is. Because it's basic drone assembly here. But this is spacer tech though, so this is spacer tech armor, so yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I'm not really worried about all the spacer tech stuff for the moment, because we can't use it for anything for most cases anyway. My guess is that it's got something to do with save our ship. And we're not building a spaceship, so I don't really worry about it. If it tells you what mod it's from, you can probably just check up the mod. That's what I would do anyway. What's this? This is a new texture I don't think I've ever seen before. It says it comes from the extra stones mod. Okay. Strange. But yeah, there's like half of the stuff in that we can buy, I don't know what is, because I've never made it that far, so in due time we will figure it out. And that's again why I keep saying, like, there's no point in researching a lot of this spacer tech stuff, because if we'll be required to do industrial research in order to unlock enough spacer tech or whatever, then it's just gonna slow us down and all that stuff. And besides, like, isn't a lot of the, like, for instance, if we're not going to be researching all this plastic stuff relatively soon, at least this initial stuff that's actually industrial, but then do all the other, like, you know, ship-related research in here because it's unrelated, which we could technically do, it would just take longer. Then I don't know if we will ever get to actually mess around with the plastics, because we'll have left the planet before we even get around to it. So, like, yeah, you can choose the research. I mean, I think it's nice to have viewers be able to participate in the direction of the research, especially since there's so much, and it creates at least some kind of engagement. But it's like, if I were to play it alone, I would just go like, oh, okay, I've got, like, you know, if when we were in medieval, I would say, okay, we've gotten to the point where we have not all medieval tech, but we can go beeline for stuff like electricity, air conditioning, I would do, and then maybe geothermal vents, but possibly not. I would just stick with the windmills, and then maybe batteries, and that's probably all the main things I would worry about. And then I would go back to do the rest of the medieval tech before even thinking about doing any other industrial tech, just for the added challenge. And because that I know in the long run you'll save so much time doing research. Because it's like, for instance, right now, right, we're researching the dropship, which is normally, does it even say here? Actually, I think the dropship is not, it's not spacer tech. So this one would have been 12,000 regardless. But if we wanted to do the Pelican, for instance, this one is ultra tech, right? So that's normally 20,000 research, which makes it 40,000. So that extra 20,000 research we could do, we might as well just, you know, we could research those two things. I don't know how this is spacers tech, but, you know, we could do almost at least, well, actually I'm saying that a lot of these are really expensive too, but you can probably do 5 different researches, if not up towards 10, depending on the research, of course, by the time you've done that one. So it's like, but I really look forward to the research limitation option for the Toolkit research mod, because Randu said he would get that into the next version. And I just communicated with him today, actually, on some in relation to a bug fix for potentially making some particular races work with Toolkit, because they basically break the whole damn thing. And he said that he figured out what it was, so those might be working well in the next major update. Let's see here. Toolkit research. When was this last updated? 5th of April, yeah.
Raiding Marty!
And Alex is raiding us, I guess. They were done over there with a party of 4. Welcome, welcome. So, how's the colony going, Alex? Also, everyone who wants to join in the raid, you can type !join raid, and the more people join, the more
Submit!
people we get raided by here. Hey, Stellis. Come on, guys, you can do better than this. Of course, people that are already in here are also allowed to join in. I was just about to say, Alex, you're slow. Don't want to see my colony suffer. Well, let me just do a save just in case this doesn't trigger correctly. I am busy. Okay, okay, okay. Alright, Stellis, and thanks for the follow. Enjoy your walk. You don't want to see me suffer. Aha. So you just want to give me a quick death, that's how it is. I am generally a nice person. I would say I am too, but I still like a little bit of carnage and trouble on occasion. I mean, we did just finish patching up the wall down there after some meteors hit us. So why not? Boom rats. Those are probably just going to be slaughtered. But I want to deal with this raid first. Come on, game. Did you not generate the freaking raid? Yeah, that's what I thought. I have some issues with the raid sometimes not generating. Give me a second. I'm curious to see why it's happening too. And hopefully try to discard a world pawn. The fuck? Okay. That doesn't really tell me what happened. It just kind of like failed. Don't don't buy anything significant because okay, Alex is just gonna buy a raid. I was just about to say I would just load the save because that's why I did it. And yeah, because I assumed the freaking the raid would fail generating. God damn it. What does it say? Object reference not set to instance of an object. Wow, so useful. Get melanin. This is similar to what I was experiencing with another mod not generating stuff correctly. Got no pawn spawning raid. Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Parmesan cheese is gonna attack me. I'll just do like this and see if it works. Oh, it's maxed. Then I can do one more thing. Because obviously that's not cool. Yeah. This really sucks. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's got something to do with races or something. Because I've had the same issue happen when you go to like... Oh. Okay. I've had the same issue when like... there's no race in your Android game either. Huh. Well, to be fair, Toolkit Raids isn't part of the toolkit itself. But yeah, it's not particularly toolkit either. The raids will fail generating at random without that. I mean, I have quests that fail generating too. Okay, none of these. But for instance, like this one, even though I can see that it's like a bounty quest, so it's literally like this quest, but it just fails generating. And I've had that for like an eternity, and I've just gotten used to the fact that sometimes the quests and events just won't generate. Like, they just won't. And it's really frustrating because it's like, oh, this was like supposed to be a cool event, but then it just doesn't generate. So yeah. It sucks. I can generate a raid through commands too if it goes completely awry. But at least I haven't had many crashes using Toolkit when out on the world map, because that's apparently also a thing. If you should do some vanilla. I tried some vanilla again. I was like, oh yeah, now I remember why I don't want to do this. It's not my cup of tea. It just fails. Apparently there's a purple dragon out here too that I didn't even notice. Okay, so... Let me just have a moment, if you will. Sometimes loading the game might fix things on random ways. But I've been wondering, yeah. Thanks, Alex. I assumed you would be out of here. I don't want to hold you up either. Oh, you're hosting me, Cotton Dude. Okay. Cool. Very appreciated. So what do you say? You're apparently lovers with a fox. What the hell happened here? Random events, I guess. And I mean, it means that we have more room for people, so it's only a good thing. Okay. Let's go in and re-enable Toolkit. And then development mode. There was a 10,000 point raid, so we'll just see if we can't just straight up generate one. Is it execute raid with points? God damn it. With points. There. 10,000 points. Have I like completely destroyed the game's capability of generating raids, or what the heck is going on? No idea what any of this is. All I know is that it sucks. So unless runtime GC is having issues with Rocket Man and that I wasn't aware of. Should work together though, but yeah, see, like we keep getting these errors. And these are some that have been in the game for like as long as I can remember. where it's just like in extended colonies, this just happens whether you play vanilla or no. So I don't know what to do about that one. Returning dummy relation. Why don't I have relations with certain factions, and why is it constantly spewing out errors? Like, and you wonder why, like, the game starts chugging later on, right? Because this is not good for game performance. All this logging of all this stuff. And whatever the heck it tries to do. Because, I mean, it's not even like it's generating a rate or anything. Okay, well, let's try and generate another raid. I mean, eventually it'll have to work, right? Why does it not work? How did I break my raids completely? Because this is a problem I will need to fix if raids have completely broken. Thank you. Finally, the terrifying hive. So insectoids? So we're getting raided by insectoids, yeah. Well, I guess it's something. But yeah, the fact that I had to generate like how many? 6 to 8 raids or something before it actually did something like that, that's not good. A single raid here and there, okay. But if it's literally like 1 out of 7 only 1 out of 7 raids is gonna succeed, that really kills the mood. So will these actually walk all the way around as I hope they will? Oh, maybe not, because there's a dragon here on the outside. Let's do a bit of tactical fire. Maybe these dragons will just have to do it all themselves. Obviously you can try and Google why are raids not spawning and you'll find like a billion answers, because mods, you know. So there's not really much you can do about it other than start a new colony and hope it doesn't happen again. Which it will happen eventually. But yeah, it's gonna be a short stream today anyway, so maybe I'll have a look at it later and see if I can't fix that issue, because that really bugs me. Or at least mitigate some of the issues. So yeah, although these dragons are strong, they won't be able to completely deal with these. For my dragon. But oh no, wait. Okay, yeah, yours is only an elder dragon. You can also start buying bionics for your dragon if you wanted to. Because you can attach Archotech limbs to your dragon if you want it. Okay. Well... Yeah, your legs should be in storage. And your arms too. And this is why your outer walls are made out of stone. To prevent it from catching fire from the collateral damage. Yeah, we can just brute force this one. Probably don't have to be awfully tactical about it. Disable to move your pawn in Puppeteer. Does that not work either anymore? I didn't do anything. Hey, Prophet. Disable. Shouldn't be. Oh! I'm a dum-dum. Because I was fixing stuff earlier and I didn't want anyone to have any dumb ideas. My bad. There we go. Robo Dwarf. Oh shit, I forgot we were in drafted hunt. Oh crap. I should have thought about that dragon down there. Oh, I guess we won't be taming this one. See you, Spyro. Nah. Okay, let's try that again. Come on, work, computer. Work faster. No empty accessible spot configured to store it. Bullshit. Oh wait, no, not bullshit. Our storage is freaking full of insects. Of course. So not quite bullshit, but yeah. Your dragon is here. There we go. Well, they haven't even landed yet. Actually, I should be able to queue them up still, because the ones from the other one there. There we go. And then Andre's dragon is here. So it got older, but it's still an... Oh no, wait, it is an ancient now. Never mind. My bad, time to upgrade. Oh, I never marked these as freaking medical spots. No wonder they're not doing what they're supposed to. Oh wait, I think it's because I unassigned them a while back for various reasons. Oof. The air today is really heavy, by the way. Very moist and warm. Like, you know it's hot outside when the air coming through your window is warmer than like inside. Feels good. Yeah, your room was also completed in terms of all the flooring and all that stuff. Okay, so I need to get rid of those random boom rats. And what else we got? Or was that just it? I think that might just have been it. Red bathroom. Yeah, that's not too bad. Quest failed. No shit. Maybe we shouldn't store anything Neolithic anymore. Now that I think about it. Rescued animal join. What? A rat named Guy. Okay. Guy, you're getting shanked. Yeah, my game's been stuttering real bad lately. I don't know what's causing it. other than my hunch, which might be the pathfinding. We can try something to see if that is actually the thing. Ah, but what's it called again? Not opportunistic hauling. Also not while you're up. 'Cause they did change the mod name recently, didn't they? I've already queued up your dragon upgrades. So what was it called again? Carry capacity control? Nope, not that one. Okay. This is the other one that I was considering maybe being a problem in this stage. We'll try and disable that for now. Oh, jobs of opportunity, that's what it's called. It's like, we could disable this as well. So let's try and do that and see what happens. Might not do anything, we never know. Could be like any manner of things in the game, and yeah, it doesn't seem like it did any difference. This game's still stuttering. But that's good, you know, because that means you can re-enable it without worrying that that is what's causing it. What's bad is that you don't know what is causing it, though. So yeah, we can probably re-enable those things. But it's always worth checking out to see if that's... Oh shit. Perfect pathfinding. There. I mean, I've read that perfect pathfinding shouldn't have a huge impact on colonists, but obviously I assume that would be using that mod in a vacuum, and that's never the case, right? You always use it with other things, so I wouldn't trust it when they say like this mod has no performance impact without reading into it at least. Because if they're only testing the mod on its own, then you wouldn't know unless you actually tried it. And that's fine, you know, they're not supposed to be able to know everything, so... That is perfectly cool. Oh yeah, we can do this actually. Or at least plan ahead a little bit. Because I want to still have advanced have turbines here. And then replace them with these advanced ones. Because it should allow us to do something like this instead. Have way more of them next to each other. And I wanted to put those down first because then now that I'm terraforming, I can sort of take it into account, so... Because I do want to make a little bit of a somewhat dynamic looking patch of water here, I suppose. Something like this should be more than adequate. Like a little fishing pond. Something like that. feeding salt to cat. Well, game doesn't really care as long as it provides nutrients, right? But that is so weird though that salt would provide nutrients. Okay, so we finished the dropship. So what would I research in this case? I would probably go for polymer materials because that's the one that I was talking about earlier. Why Starfleet Flight Basic Sephiroth? You know I'm not gonna bother building a starship. It's just wasted time. Unless it unlocks something else. Shallow trench. What? Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Digs a large trench in the selected terrain, yielding appropriate resources. Next to surface water, the trench will fill in to create shallow water of the appropriate type. Wait, so... what? So in order to actually fill this with water, I need to connect it up to existing water sources? Am I understanding that correctly? Someone already fought ahead of me. That's also what I was thinking, like rain. We're still only getting these stupid ass quests too, which I just don't understand. Why don't we get like any of the vanilla quests are not even generating. This one is vanilla, but this is the same type as this quest. And this is another fucking... we have 3 of the same type of quests in here. Why do those get weighted so highly? Am I misunderstanding the weighting of this system up here? Like... the yeah, I know reload save. Okay, it doesn't say... doesn't higher numbers mean more weighted? So more likely of happening. Right? So... basic quest selection weight, build monument. Because we've had no pawn... I mean, pawn land is really low. Okay, that makes sense though. But... I don't feel like this is really doing anything. Because the caravan raids and the wanted quests are like 0.05 in terms of their weight. So they should have almost no impact on the quest generation, but it's almost the only thing that generates, and I just understand why. It's like this mod just doesn't work. We've had no abandoned factory quests, we've no broadcasting stations, no... I mean, the mechanoid attack party, that might make sense, but we should have been able to do like a broadcasting station. I'll just try and bump that way up there. Also, it doesn't seem like these fill up with water during rain. Next to surface water. But we do actually need to... This is like a recent change. to fertile fields. But yeah, polymer materials is needed in order to, like, there's a reason why we don't have gas operation for vanilla LMGs and such. And that's because we don't have the polymers, so we can't make this research happen. And this unlocks the ability to potentially make sniper rifles, miniguns, autocannon turrets, and it will also affect our turrets in here because this is gated by pulse charged munitions, which is itself, I'm pretty sure, gated by precision rifling, which is gated by gas operation, which is gated by the polymer material. So that's why I think we should go that route at least. Also because if just researching Starflight basics doesn't really do anything. Because yeah, we can make all these ship hulls for building the shell of a ship. But we need to actually do a lot of this stuff in here in order to even have it become airborne. So, and I'm not gonna mess with any of this until we're like way into spacer tech anyway. So I would say this, like the spaceship stuff is usually what I would research last, which is also why I've never gotten around to launch the spaceship, because you know, I get gripped by other things. But this time I do want to get to that point somehow, assuming the game doesn't fall apart before that. You know how it is. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm really looking forward to be able to limit the research choices to your tech level. Because once we can do that, then, you know, I can guide the direction of the playthrough much better without being completely control freak. Because I do want to give you guys a chance to also decide the decisions for those things. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, Andre. Hey, Muhu. No, it does not. It's just got the surgeries queued. Sephiroth's dragon has bionic wings, though. But your dragon's not the only one who's got surgeries queued up, so... It will have, yeah. When did we make our dragons able to get the wings? I made that possible yesterday. I am using a mod called Xenobionic Patcher that allows you to do some pretty wacky stuff. It's not just the wings. Basically, it's a universal patching mod that allows you to tailor how body part replacement should be treated universally. So, for instance, it's probably easier if I just show you. Is this down here? Oh, let me just close that. So here, so basically there's these transitions here, like, do you want animal surgeries to be patched into all animals? Do you want human-like surgeries to be patched into all human-likes? Because that's also a thing that can happen. Do you want artificial parts to be applicable to mechs, for instance, or robots? Or do you want human-like surgeries to be applicable to animals and the opposite way around? And those are enabled. Yeah, so you could technically install a minigun or a charge gun to your dragon, but I would ask everyone to, like, be a bit mindful of not overdoing it with the bionics, because The only reason you're able to do that is because they don't have fine control over which parts are patched and which parts are not. So, just because we can install a quad Tesla cannon on your humanoid now, doesn't mean that I'll allow it, okay? So if you queue up a surgery for that, you're wasting your coins. Yeah, so you guys can also get animal surgeries. Yeah, but some people would take it very serious. So... Again with the freaking bionics. I would probably go for industrial generators or deep wells. Actually, deep wells is what I would go for. Just so that we don't need to have all these small ones all around the base. And then we also need to worry about ground pollution when we're moving our drills around. But yeah, you can have animal parts attached to you, assuming that this isn't really doing what I wanted it to. Oh, that's because this is not water, this is stone. Oh god. I see. Just give me a moment. But yeah, assuming as you have, the way it works is that it basically looks at the bionic parts for instance, the wings, right? And then it's like, oh, in order to attach this bionic part, you need a wing slot. So it looks for those names or whatever. And then it just applies them universally. So if you have a tailbone slot, you can get a tail now. Which, surprise, surprise, even humanoids have a tailbone slot. So if you want, you can have a bionic tail or cloth tail, whatever kind of tail that's in here, regardless of what race you are. But yeah, you can probably give your dragon Architect skin. Request a surgery for a dragon. What do you request? Okay. It would probably be the same thing. Just see all the architect things here. And the reason why I did it this way is because none of the other combinations of animal bionics mods were working out. Because the wings are added by the Magical Menagerie and Alpha Animals mods respectively for the magical and the bionic wings. And those are only compatible with a dog set. So in order to get those parts even, you need to have a dog set installed too. And a dog set doesn't have Archotech limbs for their animals, including some other things. And is actually relatively limited on what you can put on your animals. Then there's Cyber Fauna, which does a lot of similar things to a dog set, but has Archotech limbs and some battle boosters, but that one is specifically designed to be very generic in its application, so no fancy surgeries in terms of like wing replacements and what else you can think of, just the very, very basics. And then it compensates that flaw by adding the battle boosters, which I get, it's like an additional thing, and it does the same thing in effect, but you know, it's just cooler when you can see, oh, this dragon has bionic wings. So yeah, that is the general gist. And I have no idea how OP this is gonna get. But we should be able to see it in here. So for instance, there are some really interesting crossovers. Like with dragons, for instance. Ah, this is a bad idea. Wall. Because dragons, they have claws on their individual hands and... or, well, what would it even be? Yeah, I guess they're still called toes and fingers. Because they still have claws on them, and because the Orasan's Light mod adds Surgeries for plasteel claws. We could replace all these with plasteel. I don't think it makes a difference, but I think this is just literally a prosthetic surgery for the Erasens. But yeah, you can do some pretty wacky stuff. Oh, I literally just told you that if it's something like that, then don't do it. Moo. Like if it's basically an implant that gives you an ability, then I'll ask you not to get those. Yeah, I'll have to remove that. Because that's added by alpha animals. Yeah, it gives you the acidic spits ability from alpha animals. That's normally like it would be way too overpowered if you could have all these automated abilities, because you'd be a walking turret, so I won't allow that to happen. Don't do that. As I said, if you buy those things, you will be wasting your coins. So yeah. It is a compromise to being able to do things in other places that I want to do. And normally when you're just playing on your own, of course, you could just, you know, not do it, but it's a bit hard with Toolkit. Because otherwise you could get like, would it be in here? Like all these things, you could get all of these wacky ass things, right? You could have a quad Tesla cannon implant in your body. You could have had a hyperacidic stomach implant, fire breath, like, and those would all be active at the same time, so you'd just be spewing like shit everywhere. Maybe for another time, but then not with this approach. There's another mod that allows you to do exactly these things, but more intentionally. I can't remember what it's called, but it's in my list. Did it remove your jaw? I mean, you still have your... Okay, it doesn't mention that you've lost a jaw. I don't think they all did. I mean, one of them was literally a stomach implant. So I assume that goes into your stomach as an implant. And I know that the quad Tesla cannon goes into your body, so that one's not either. Sure, some of them might be, but I think the quill implant goes on like the tail or something. Can't remember. And it might not even like do that, so yeah, only creatures that have a tail. So like for instance, that one will go into your tail. Current research to complete. Okay. But yeah, I was messing around with surgeries and trying to make things a bit more flexible out of interest. What time is it? Okay. But yeah, I'll only be playing for like another 15 minutes, I believe. As I said, really short stream today because I wanted to see how everything was working out. And if everything wasn't working out too well, then I would want to look at those things before the weekend. AKA tomorrow. So that we can play through Friday, hopefully. And then not have an issue there. Hey, Alvin. How are you doing? Good day to you too. There is a lot of people in here though, considering that it's just a small thing for today. But yeah, just consider this like not debugging live, but just seeing how everything rolls, so to speak. Because I did just have that issue where it's like, oh, we tried to generate a raid, but only 1 out of 7 generations actually worked. Which is a really big problem. Because I can't go in and just say like, oh, generate 7 times as many raids to compensate, you know? Oh, Cap just started streaming? Okay. Might just send you over there when I'm done here then. But yeah, I have things that I need to look at, and hopefully... I highly doubt that I'll be able to fix the raid thing because I've tried so many freaking times in the past to try and figure out how to fix it. And every single time I've just not been able to come up with solutions. And it's been driving me insane because it affects the quest generation system too. So we'll have quests that pop up like this, for instance, where you can see what kind of quest it is. And that's another thing, like I really want to get rid of all these freaking bounty quests. So I might have to do a little bit of a test generation at some point. Where I'll just go into development mode and just generate quests and see what appears. But yeah. Also, we're making a little lake over here. Which apparently now you're digging trenches and then they have to fill in from pre-existing water sources. And rain does not count as a water source. So you literally need to have pre-existing water to get more water. Testing the runnability of things, yeah. Rimworld be random as fuck sometimes, I agree. And it's really obnoxious too, because, you know, you just want to play the freaking game. And I know mods and everything is at your own discretion, but this issue happens when playing vanilla for me too. It's not a mod specific thing, so it's something, or part of it is, sounds to me like it's something in vanilla that just breaks fundamentally. And that's really bad, because that means that if it's not a mod issue, then what do you do about it? Well, then you need to find a mod that fixes that inherent issue, but I don't think it's been made. Because that sounds like an awfully convoluted way of dealing with the issue too. So our core reactor here, we have finally got like a setup. We're still missing the armchair because no cloth being made. So recently, like, this is been all our cloth production. Oh yeah, and I disabled the Ice Age and global warming events because they were just being annoying. Okay, so now we can fill this back up again with soil. Okay, this is an annoying process if I've ever seen any. But I'm sure Fertile Fields will mod it so that when it rains, these ditches fill up with rainwater. But yeah, I disabled those events and just stopped the world event because it was not fun. And I was worried it was tampering with the quest generation and everything. Tumbling satellites here. Extraordinarily awful timing, but hey to you anyways. Andre, I already told you I queued it up. If it's in the hospital, then probably no. You know how these things work. It takes time. How are you? I'm getting frustrated with Rimworld being Rimworld. And as Prophet said a little earlier, testing the runnability of things. Because we have a few issues in this massive colony here. Vision in Rimworld? Yeah. Never heard that one before. But yeah, we have a little bit of an issue with raids not generating properly at the moment. It's insane. It's been a little while in the making. We still have a long ways to go still though. And eventually hopefully get into space. And this has all been possible mainly with TTK, I would say. I mean, this blast door wouldn't be possible without it, sure. Couple of hours. I mean, we're in year... What year are we in? We're in year 7, and this is, technically speaking, session, what, 19 or something? With an average session length of maybe 5 to 6 hours. Because some of the streams have been like 10-hour long. Usually they are during the weekend. But I've been streaming much more frequently Rimworld this week than I normally do, so that kind of puts the average in a weird spot. Should have an Architect heart in storage. The answer to that would be no, we don't have an Architect heart in storage. Have a kidney in storage. And 2 sets of, or 1 set of ears. A singular eye and a patch of Architect skin. Which might just be because someone queued it up recently. Nope. Getting the bionic tail there just because you can. Do remember or take note now that you need to actually train up the efficiency of your pots before they are fully functional again. But yeah, the colony's been running for quite a while. I remember. But we still have, as I said, a long ways to go. Like if we take a look at our research here. This is all the remaining research that we have. So we've done 63% of all industrial and only 29 of spacer, 3 of ultra, and then there's a few architect or 1 singular architect research. Which also, if this ever pops up in the research tab in here, like if we get the Phoenix unlocked for some reason because you guys are insistent on unlocking all the ultra tech, then I will not allow you to unlock the Genesis, because that would kind of circumvent a lot of this stuff. Since it's the only Architect research, it would completely skip us all the way to Architect if we just did that one thing. Since if we research 50% or more 1 tech level, it would give us, put us into that tech level. So, in other words, if we research that one thing, we would immediately skip into Architect, and I don't want that to happen, so... Can you add the heart and kidneys then? Yes. But you only bought 1 kidney though. I have no idea where the other kidney comes from though. Normally I just install the excess body parts in my own pawn. So that there's no discussion on who they belong to. I think the ears might be yours though. Because you did get these instead. Hey Kumito, and good morning. Getting into the evening over here, you're also in impeccable timing, unfortunately, but guess I can catch you up to speed too. We're just testing the runnability of mods today in preparation. Oh, I thought this... Okay, I didn't. Testing the runnability of mods today, so it won't be awfully long stream. Because I have some things that I want to see if I can't give a crack at trying to resolve before hopefully tomorrow and, you know, Saturday. So we're ready for that 100 follower stream. Yeah, some mods to fix the previous mods. I already have way too many of those. Can dragons become too old? I don't think so. The life expectancy is 2,000 years. So technically, but there's no point in making them older once they reach ancient. And there's a long wait from ancient to 2000, so you should be good. So also need to figure out where to put down an SRAF. The Tech 7. Guess we could just make room for it right here. Or do we want to wait with building the dropship until we can build the Pelican? We can probably do this one. What stats does it have? 1 to 28 carry capacity. Yeah, so if we do one of those, that would be like a decently sized strike team. Oh, okay, Alvin. Have a good time at your job, and I'll see you out at some other point. Probably not today. Hey, Trueham, you forgot to ask the question of the day. Or your catchphrase. That's your mistake working. Almost the entire colony? Yeah, almost. Why is the Phoenix Owlcat so expensive? Because it's freaking annoying as heck. It literally comes in with 9 lives and someone bought 4 of them at some point. Even if they're tamed, I have to kill them 9 times over again. And I have to, every time they get butchered, go in and reassign them to being butchered. And you can't train them into anything. They can't even have a master, so you can't even be bonded to them. So literally the only one function that they would have, they can't even do. So they're literally worthless. Am I early? So that's why. Yeah, worst pet ever. I mean, yeah, they just eat your food and they never die. Which normally not being like being able to suck up a lot of hits like that would be cool and all, but we already have a lot of creatures, including our farm animals, of course, and I don't want to bloat the colony with unnecessary pets. So the general consensus is that you get 1 pet of your choosing. And most people just have dragons because they were really strong. The fuck, Andre, what were you trying to do? Dodger, a Pulmonoscopius. 9 lives. Yeah, that's not how that works. Okay, so I'll tell you all what the deal is. I'm going to go for a few minutes and go set my food over so it starts cooking, and then I'll keep streaming until the food is ready, and then we'll end it there, and that should be it for today, okay? So I will be right back. I'm back for another 20 odd minutes. So, all these surgeries, brain pal. Okay. What does this do again? Whole bunch of stuff. Okay, we're still researching advanced combat bionics. Oof. So why are we not making this stuff happen? Okay, so we are making rock powder over here. Okay. Oh, it's because they are walking like really far with the stone chunks. That is why. So what else do we have? We have slate. Is the majority of the alternative rocks here slate? I think it might be. I have a little bit of limestone, but the majority seems to be slate. The reason why I'm saying that is because then we can technically go in here and assign these for the slate rock chunks. Just to try and mitigate some of the travel time. Like that. It's already critical, so already is in order. We have these set to Jasper light. But they obviously still take time to transfer over. I think the paved streets look nice. Thanks. It's kind of how I usually like to do it. It's also there's a bit of functionality here too, because these windows, in order for them to work properly, you need to have an equal amount of sort of empty space with sky axis on the opposite side. Otherwise, as you can see here, the range of how much light it'll let into the building changes to be less as well. And having individual buildings like this tends to also improve like how much cleanup you need to do, because you don't, you know, need to walk through like interior hallways. And that also affects most people to not get the undergrounder or underground darkness debuff as much, because you force them to actually go outside to go places. And that also works if you have something like an Aurora going on, where everyone gets a mood debuff only if they're outside. So there's a bunch of benefits to do it this way. The Dodger. Yeah. What? What animal? The Dodger. Oh, the Pulmonus Scorpius. I don't know what a Dodger is, that's just his name. Yeah, I probably need to disable the toxic fallout. During a toxic fallout, you obviously have the issue that if everyone needs to walk outside to go everywhere, they get toxic buildup. But that just means that they'll be in the hospital to clear up the toxic buildup. There's a mod that makes it so that, and we're actually using that one now too, I believe. So I looked at a mod that did it. I think this one does work with that too. So this one, if toxic buildup is a thing, they'll try and avoid outdoors and stuff and get to safe areas. And then I don't know if toxic buildup will affect everyone, because Obviously, it's going to be related on your health stats and how quickly you recover from it whenever you're inside. So some people might not even feel anything, is my guess. So, we're still not getting this thing built yet. Okay. So if anyone wants to invest something in the colony, you're welcome to buy a bunch of rock powder. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. It's a conundrum. But my guess would also be that it's something to do with the dragons. It's the most likely culprit, but yeah. Because I know some of the dragons, they do generate stuff like toxic buildup and stuff. Come on. They're still building houses for people. I've kind of stopped building houses because we don't have any more room for more houses, so anyone joining the colony now gets put into an army tent. Because very early on I realized that this might be a problem, so I built these public bathrooms with showers, so you can still get your showers and toiletries or toilet requirements fulfilled. It's just you're living in an army tent, and these can support up to 4 individual people, so like each. And you only get the slept outside or slept in the cold debuff. I don't know if it does, Andre. I don't know if that one particularly does. That's what I wanted to check up. But for some reason I'm having a really hard time hitting this edge of the Steam window. Yeah, okay, tumbling satellite, that's something even worse. But yeah, everyone here just got like the same standardized rooms, really. And then we started customizing rooms based off of individual viewers' like requests. Thanks. It's like I wanted to try something a little bit different too, because I've never used the wallpaper. Just to try and make something that's a little bit different, which makes the buildings a little bit more like dynamic looking, I guess. Because obviously, you know, things like this is a bit of a situation where it's like, oh, do you build the window on the outside or in the inside, or however you want to do it. Same over here. But I think this has turned out pretty well. Because I don't want to build external walls out of wallpaper. That didn't make sense either. So this is literally the only way I can see how you would use these. But obviously that means that all the buildings become much thicker. Which, on top of the fact that you need 4 tiles of space to make room for the... I mean, technically speaking, these windows don't really do much for the bedrooms. I just think it's, you know, a fun added challenge and immersion to have windows in here. Because normally these windows, what they do is that they would they'll account for any beauty on the outside and allow it to pass through to the inside area as well. So if you have like some beautiful artwork out here, and then it'll affect the beauty of the room and in like by proxy, basically. Yeah, this is Andre's room. So what else do we have here? That's deep wells again. But yeah, this is also a very casual colony anyway, so is not to intended to be like super hardcore difficult or anything. So it's mostly just like a casual colony where we get to experiment with mods that you might not have heard about or messed around with yourself in the past. So that is mainly the drive for this colony. Where all this is off limits. All of this is off limits. And this is off limits. And this is off limits. So where do you want to build houses? Oh yeah, and this up here is off limits. So up here I want to build a automated factory. Down here I want to build crypto sleep stuffs and a animatory garden. And we also use this area to store our ships. That's where they're going to be put. And over here, like, this is a open build slot for, like, for instance, oh, that's probably why it's taking so long getting the freaking water filled up with rock. But we actually have a monument marker that I need to put down over here at some point, which can barely even fit here. So yeah. And this area outside here I want to keep clear just to allow events to actually spawn. So, and anything else is like going to be outside the boundaries of the build limit for the map anyways. So if we mine beyond that point here, then we can't build anyway. So yeah, that's like kind of what we're at. And this is an immensely large colony anyway, like 39 colonists. Normally you should stick to like at most 16, I would say. That's a pretty good number to stop at. So this colony is like, you know, there's a reason why it's so big, is because a lot of people tend to go to 8 to 10 only. That's probably also a good number. Depends on what mods you're using to balance your gameplay though. But yeah. And we have this extra bedroom down here in case we get a royalty quest, but quest generation hasn't exactly worked out too well. And it's really frustrating because we are using parry persistent that doubles the amount of events you get. And I even have a separate mod that further increases the amount of events you get. And still, we're just not getting any interesting quests. We're getting a lot of these vanilla factions expanded settlers quests for some unknown reason. Like we're getting caravan ambushes and these capture this guy and bring him to a safe house quest, which is really annoying. All right. But yeah. Oh, you bought a wanted quest. Yeah, that's another thing that I realized today, that I have the mod that allows you to buy them, but it's like, not really interested in those quests, to be honest. So yeah. And this is the reason why we're not, like, we're low on rock powder, because it's 125 for each of these, so this is literally thousands of rock powder. Bought 2 of them in the past. So maybe that's why I'm like getting confused as to why we're getting so many. Because here's the thing, I've got this mod now, or for a while, that allows you to adjust the quest chance by weighting, like how much it's weighted. And the wanted quests and caravan raid quests I've reduced those to 0.05. 0.05, like a really low fraction of almost every other quest. And now, because we haven't had a single broadcasting station, I've tried putting the weighting up to 12 just to see if it would happen normally. And once, yes, thanks for that. That's a little bit of progress. It's going to be very useful. But that's one of the things that I want to take a look at later today once my food's ready and I've eaten stuff. Because my hunch is that maybe there's another mod that conflicts and limits what events can spawn. And I have some theories that I need to test out. More rock powders. 5,000. Excellent. I think that might actually be just enough. Because that's like gonna be 66,000 plus 1/4 of that. $66 plus 15 odd thousand. Yeah. Okay, so not quite enough to do all of that alone, but it's a good way to the finishing line. And I mean, eventually I do want to do these factory setups. Like we can already build a automatic drill that we put through a masonry saw and stuff. I think this, yeah, stackable bricks. I don't know if this works with rock powder actually. Could be cool if it did. Otherwise we might need a different thing. But yeah, you can do some pretty cool stuff. I've only messed very little with this though, because these things are really massive. Which is why this entire corner up here is like set aside for it, which might not even be enough. So we might have to extend this all the way over here. Just so that we have the space needed. See what's in the ponds. Can. Normally I don't care too much about them because, yeah, it can be stuff like wooden toes. So I'm not gonna bother with. So. How many robotic eyes do we have? Have a neat eye now. Oh, we've got a robotic eye. Well, let's check out. We've got 2 architect eyes. Zoom in on one of the houses again, sure. Oh, you want to take a screenshot? Sure. So normally what I do is with this layout, I think it's actually a little bit bigger than it normally is. Normally I do like a 5x5 area, which is more than sufficient. And then instead of having the outer walls here, of course, then these walls would just be those. And I wouldn't have this, like, it's only because we're doing Puppeteer and TTK and all that stuff that I'm actually bothering with different wallpaper colors for the different rooms, because obviously that's another thing you have to consider if you want the different house interiors to be of different color maybe, then yeah, you need to account for that too. It does allow us to like say, oh, we want this part of the house to be a specific color on the outside too. So when we're doing our walls here, like some of the houses could be limestone, or if we want a yellow bricked house, we can probably make it out of citrin. This is one example. Or the Bastille if you want it to be like purple bricks. Actually, I don't know if it'll have the brick texture. My hunch was that maybe it will, because ruby or all the gemstones are all kind of like a stone type. So it might work. But yeah, obviously we do also have like a bunch of stone materials. If I go in here, we just look at stony type. We have 48 stony type materials. Yeah, gems account for that too. We can see all the colors in the left tab there, or left side of this. So we can have sapphire bricked houses, I guess. We really wanted to. Or just make it out of lapis. And even within the regular stone types, there's also something that's called blue schist, for instance, if you wanted it to be a lightly blue color. There's plenty of coloring options, at least. Speaking of the robotic eyes too, it's still funny to me that because of the way the patcher works, we can like put some wacky stuff onto these if we really want to puff these things up. Maybe I should go and see if there's like a robot body parts mod out there for like tracks and stuff, so that you can upgrade the movement speed of these things. That could be kind of cool. Because it's like, you know, it's like the whole mentality behind unlimiting the stats on our pawns was to not be dependent on a large colony, which we eventually grew into be because a lot of people wanted to be part of this. But the general idea was to make individual pawns, you know, capable of doing the job of like, you know, 6 people maybe. So that instead of having 6, so we only need like a 6, yeah, you know what I mean, like a 6th amount of that amount of people that we have now in order to do just as well, was kind of the idea. And I guess you could apply the same logic to auto haulers. If they can move at 3 times the regular speed, then you might not need as many, you know. We've got advanced batteries, which we don't really need right now. What else is there then? Conveyor belts is needed in order for us to do the automated stuff. Like, just straight up. Sure, artificial, but... The stockpile crates will also be useful because they work slightly different. Basically like a one structure thing that you can put a lot of one thing into. Which is to be used with the automated stuffs. So that's why they're in here. But I mean, we have wooden crates already, so that's not really a requirement. But yeah, conveyor belts, all this stuff is going to be quick to research. It's all industrial tech too, so it'll bring us closer towards spacer tech. Because again, we're using arcane technology, right? So even though we have this reforged cannon here, technically can't use it because it's supposed to be spacer tech. And some mods that actually do it correctly, it does work with, so even if we get like spacer tech weapons from raids or whatever, then it's balanced out, so we can't use them unless we're progressed far enough. I will quickly go and check up on my food though. Yeah, as expected. So once this vote here is done, I will do a save and then send you off to someone else. Thanks for dropping by this relatively short stream today. It means a lot, especially people that are relatively new here. Thanks to you as well for returning. And thanks for dropping by Tumbling Satellite if you're still hanging around. So you got a little bit of a taste for what this colony is capable of doing, I guess. So, who do we want to raid? Cap is streaming, so why don't we just raid Capitolamia here? Let's go.
Oh, look, we have
You
to go.
need to polish it.
You need to polish it. And we need to go over to Stream Raiders, which says we have an update. Why?
Welcome raiders.
Is that a raid? That is a raid. Hello, Dragon King with the party of 7 rating.
Hello Dragon King.
It's gonna pause. And my Stream Raiders is updating, so hang on.
Greetings.
Even though it's
Hello.
because we have a Stream Raiders battle also. So type join raid to join the raid.